big night in the NBA, Rob, but let's start with the NFL. And press conference for Aaron Rodgers, of course. He's traded to the Jets. Best quarterback ever to play for the Jets. And Rob, I'm off the top of my head. This just popped into my head. Best player ever to play for the Jets. Any objection there?
Well, the guy won 4 MVPs. It's not just he won a Super Bowl, but he's a 4-time MVP. Nobody who ever played in a Jets uniform.
Yeah.
I don't think was ever
MVP.
Had
an MVP, period. Yeah.
Let alone 4. I don't think any Jet player won the NFL at MVP.
No, like I said, it just popped into my head. But yeah, I don't think there's anybody that comes to mind. If Rob G, Alex, if you guys, Rob
G is it? I know Joe Namath never won MVP.
No, Namath was probably the best Jets player before Aaron Rodgers, or really Favre. I think Favre was better than Namath. So you'd say Favre,
but
he was only there for a minute.
I would say that, but not in the Jets uniform because
the best
Joe Namath won a Super Bowl.
Right. But all right. But anyway, Aaron Rodgers had a press conference today to welcome him to New York, and here's a little sound.
I'm here because I believe in this team. I believe in Coach Saleh. I believe in the direction of Joe Douglas. Obviously, he's drafted really well. The Jets have an incredible, passionate fan base. I saw that last year at Lambeau. I think that's an exciting draw to this as well, as being a part of something special. I noticed walking in this morning that Super Bowl III trophy is looking a little lonely.
Rob, obviously, Aaron Rodgers knows how to handle himself in front of a microphone. But I got to say, he was great. I thought his press conference was fantastic. He was charming. He interacted well with the media, said, a lot. And
but not too much. He said the right amount.
Said the right stuff. And what surprised me, the biggest takeaway for me from the press conference, Rob, was that he openly embraced the challenge of coming here and winning a Super Bowl for the Jets. Like, he brought it up. You heard him right there say,
the Super Bowl number 3, Super Bowl III trophy looking lonely.
Looked lonely, right. He, I'd say maybe 2, 3, 4 times he brought up winning a Super Bowl unsolicited. Wasn't like he was asked about it. He just brought it up. And Rob, I thought, maybe he didn't necessarily want that challenge or at least that pressure put on him. Obviously, he wants to win a Super Bowl again. But I thought, if you really are just like, I got to win another ring, that's my sole focus, I would have thought you push a little harder for San Francisco. But I got to give him credit, Rob. I thought he definitely didn't shy away from those expectations. I think he raised them, actually, because of how openly he talked about it. And like you said, saying the trophy from, 50-some-odd years ago. Right. Looks lonely. I think you raised the stakes. So I thought he did a great job. And I like Rob. Now, you and I both have said we don't think they're going to win a Super Bowl in the next 2 years. But I do like that he, openly accepted that challenge and is going for it, at least from what he said today.
Well, I think you don't play this long and have the success that he's had. Of course, there's been disappointment, but he's won a Super Bowl before. He knows that they didn't make a trade for him just to come over and play the string out. So I think he handled it the right way. I'm not the savior, but I'm here to try to do what I can. I like that whole thing. He's not promising anything. He's not setting people up for something. He's here because he knows that they think he's the missing formula or the missing piece. And if they have better quarterback play with the young team and the defense that they have, they think they can compete. And that's really where you want to go in. I'm sure he wasn't happy with how the season worked out last year for the Packers, and he looks at it as a challenge. If you're going to play, I don't care who you are and how much money you make. If you're going to play, you want to win. When you don't want to win, then that's when you should retire.
I agree with that, but he could have easily come there and been like, look, We got a lot of nice young pieces. The defense, we played them last year. They played well. The defense obviously is strong. I respect Coach Sala and obviously Nate Hackett. He's got a great relationship with. But, we're young and we're building something. And I think we got some good pieces. And, it may take a little time, hopefully not too much time.
He knows that he doesn't have that. He can't talk about a 3-year plan.
No, not 3 years, but he didn't have to mention the Super Bowls like he did. Would you agree with that?
I think he knew that that's why he's there. And if he would have omitted mentioning it rather than have them say, are you guys going to win a Super Bowl next year? He brought it up just so that he could say he's not on the hook for that question, Chris, because if I was asking it, it would be, are you going to win a Super Bowl next year, Aaron, yes or no? That would be my question. And people used to ask me, I used to do it all the time in Detroit, right? Yes or no, Chris? And you say, that's a bad question, a yes or no answer. No, it's not. It's actually a good question.
If you asked me that, yeah, that's a great question to ask. I wouldn't answer it yes or no.
All right, but I'm saying, when I ask that, a lot of people will make a pick. And if you have to pick, no matter if you say yes or no, I'll have to ask you to follow up. Tell me why. I remember doing this to people all the time. Are the Tigers good enough to compete with the Yankees this season? Do you have enough pitching? Yes or no?
Okay, that's one thing. That's different than are the Tigers going to win a World Series next year?
But I'm just saying, I could throw it out there, and people could say, yeah, we got a shot at doing it, and I'll say why or no. That's what I'm saying. So
yeah, no, I agree.
That's what I would ask.
I also think he, as he's known to do, he was a little... he said, like you said, he said a lot, but not too much. And Josina Anderson, friend of the show, she asked him if he was going to be, at OTAs, basically. And Rob, I thought he danced around it, and it was reminiscent of when he said, a few years ago, that he had been immunized, instead of vaccinated, when he really hadn't been vaccinated. And she asked him about, OTAs. He said, I'm going to be around. I want to hang out with the fellas, get to know people. I'm going to be in the facility. She said, does that mean you're going to be practicing, or will you be at practice? He said, tomorrow, does tomorrow count? But he didn't commit, Rob, to being at OTAs, but he did talk about, I'm going to be around, getting to know everybody. He didn't say he's not going to be there. He didn't say he is going to be there. It was slick, but he left himself a little bit of wiggle room.
Yeah, I don't know how you come to a new team. You're going to have to be around, and it doesn't mean he's going to be 40 years old, and so there'll be some stuff that he won't have to take part in because they're trying to preserve him and save him. But there's no way you got to mingle with your teammates.
Well, I know that,
out.
but don't you think he needs to be at OTAs?
Yeah, I don't know how he won't be. I think he'll be there. I do.
If you're serious, and hey, look, like we said, he mentioned winning the Super Bowl. If you're serious about beating Mahomes and beating Burrow and beating Allen and Lamar Jackson, whoever else may be in your way in the AFC, I think you got to be there. I think all the other quarterbacks. I just don't think
that it's as big of a question. I think he'll be around, be there with them in OTAs. I don't know how much he'll take part, but I do believe he'll be there.
He should take part. He should be.
I can't believe. No, I just said I'm not saying. I said I don't know how much he'll take part, but I do believe he'll be there.
No, he needs to be throwing. Last year they came on strong at the end. Part of the reason they started so slowly because he had no rapport with his new receivers, and so I think he's got to get in there and get some rapport with these guys. Great to mingle with them, of course, develop relationships with them. I'm sure they're all going to look up to him, Rob, and be excited, to have him there. But you also got to get in a little work on the field. So I think he will too, but he definitely didn't commit to it. Probably a smart answer, left himself a little bit of wiggle room. But